What was the first thing you noticed when you started testosterone?
My first thing was my voice. To start with, within about the first week, I noticed a difference in my voice. It kept I kept feeling like I had a sore throat, or maybe the start of, as if you're going to get a cold, and my throat was a little bit crackly, and then a few days later it was still the same, and then it would just kind of disappear, and then I'm like, okay, so it's not a cold. But that just kept happening over and over again over the last year or so, so it's been pretty much ongoing, but only every now and again that will happen. I've known some people to have already been on hormones up to like 6 months and to not have had those changes happen already, but I think that's, most people get changes within the first few weeks.
So is your voice kind of steady now? Has it settled down?
It has settled, but like I say, it settles for a little while, and then I get the odd bit of a sore throat now and again. I've been told by others as well, like I can have changes in my voice anything up to about 1.5 years or so.
Have you noticed the change, first of all, on the hair on your head, and have you noticed what about your body hair?
What you mean, like more hair disappearing here? Parts of my hair where obviously the hairline has actually changed, and I'm still getting little bits of hair that are slowly disappearing on my face. My body hair, I have lots of body hair now, which seems to be getting darker and thicker. It used to be very, very, if you'd looked on a camera, you wouldn't have been able to see it originally. It was just very, very white and pale, but now I have, even down my chest, down the front of my stomach, it's kind of like a dark brown now. Even though my hair isn't actually brown, but obviously my body hair is brown. I do have some hair that's come in, even though, like I say, a lot of it is very light, but I'm getting the odd few darker ones that keep coming in. And I know a lot of people say to shave it, but I just use a hair trimmer. Hi! Yeah. Sorry, that's Luna. Come here. So yeah, so I just use a beard trimmer and just trim it to a number 1 or number 2, just so that I don't have to keep shaving it, just in case I do end up with some acne. Leg hair, I have a lot of leg hair. Arm hair's it's still quite pale, but it's getting darker and thicker.
So what about the thing that everybody talks about when guys start T, which is sex drive? How was that for you?
To start with, within the first, I don't know, couple of months or so, after that point it went a little bit crazy, which increased a lot, more than I ever used to. So yeah, that's my libido has kind of gone up. It is settling down again. Obviously, a while ago I had my hormones increased slightly. At that point, it kind of went up again, but it is now settling down a lot. Well, more than, to start with, like I said, to start with, it kind of goes a lot. My clitoris has grown a lot. It has taken quite some time, but maybe there's like 1.5 inches in growth. It's like I say, it seems to be a very slow but gradual thing even now. But that's also something I've kind of got used to. Occasionally, as well, the embarrassing kind of being out, even in the supermarket or somewhere, kind of like having the occasional twinge in between my legs, which it can be maybe embarrassing, but obviously not as embarrassing as like maybe cis guys, because it's much smaller, a lot easier to hide. But it does kind of have a funny feeling to it every now and again. But yeah. You get used to that.
So I know you talk a lot about your change of the way that your pee smells, so how has that changed?
Oh, well, at the point of when I was 3 months on hormones, that was, for me, my pee's starting to really smell. Well, that was nothing. I wait until I got to like 6 months or more on hormones, and then it really stunk. I mean, like they say, some guys, their pee doesn't smell that bad, and some, it really does smell. Well, mine's one of those. Mine really stinks. But like I say, that's something also I am getting used to the smell of those, going in the guys' toilets and all of that, which really do tend to stink. So as well as my pee really smelling, I have to wash a lot more than I used to, shower a lot more deodorant than I used to. Otherwise, if I don't, I will start to smell under my arms. Body odour is not very nice. So yeah, if you keep on top of, washing more than you would have done before, then you're not gonna kind of go out ponging and have people kind of, gee, you stink, which isn't very nice. Your chest, even though obviously at the moment I bind, so I wear like kind of compression vests. My chest has deflated, which means basically if I kind of had two balloons on my chest, it's like someone's taken the air out of them. So I've like, they've half deflated, which isn't, ideal, but obviously that's a side effect of the hormones. So that, that will just be a continual thing as my fat redistributes from my body. They do say that guys that go on to testosterone tend to have mood swings, get really angry, and can be quite aggressive and things like that. But I think that's pretty much a myth. I mean, all people that I know have been on hormones. For me, being on gel is a very steady level of gel. I have the same amount every day. So for me, that's kind of like, I don't have any great kind of like, for guys that go on injections, kind of they have a big boost of testosterone, and then obviously over a week or so then that goes down and down and down until they're quite low before they have the next injection. But like I say, I've never had that issue with being on the gel, with testo gel. I don't have that sort of problem. But like my doctor and other people have told me, if you're someone that's you have that sort of nature and you're quite an angry, aggressive person, then being on hormones, you're always going to be like that. It's not going to change who you are. If you're a nice person when you go on hormones, you're always going to be a nice person. Up until the point of when I was about 6 months on hormones, I was still getting read as a lesbian. Yes, I know, I love you too. But like I say, past that, when I was maybe 9-10 months on hormones, I very rarely got read as anything other than male. Yeah, you have to do it, don't you?
She wants to be in the film.
Daddy's girl, aren't you? Yeah. So yeah. Now, it's like I say, I'm maybe 1 or 2%, and usually those people that will only ever read me as maybe being a butch female are people that have known me previous to being on hormones. Those people may kind of look at me twice now and then be not sure, but maybe still assume, unless obviously I'm in kind of a talkative kind of, I know them kind of personally, sort of like someone that I can talk to, an acquaintance. But if they don't know and they're just like someone that had seen me regular over the years, well, like I say, they'll probably just assume that I'm someone butch female that maybe binds, and compresses my chest. A lot of, you do get that. You do get some females that want to do that. Don't really necessarily like their chest. Yeah. So if you want to get in touch with us for anything or for more information, you can go to facebook.com/UK Transmission. You can always contact me either there, or you can look me up on Facebook under Ruffus Transmission, so you'll also find me there. Yeah, we'll put the details here as well, so you can have it on the screen right now. She's a big daddy's girl, that one, aren't you? Oh, the daddy's girl.
See, as soon as you start filming, Alvie jumps off. I didn't even say I was filming, and she knew. She jumped off.
Daddy's girl comes up.